Okay, good morning and welcome to project management. This is going to be our penultimate tutorial on this subject of project management, and I hope you are ready. I know some of you will have started with the project. There is a project out, and I hope that you have started tackling the project. Have a look at your outlines and see if you can get going. I pleaded with you last week that you should get going with your project. You remember, we do not have an exam in this course, but we do have a final project, and that final project is what's going to be graded as an exam. So please have a look at that and start going through it. You're not going to be able to do it a night before. If you're hoping that you're going to be able to do it a night before, you are going to fail this module. So please don't do that to yourself. You need to go out there, get some information on a project, put it all together in a right format. It's more than 10 pages of write-up that you have to do. So please start doing it now. It's due, I think, on the 1st or 2nd of June. I think it's the 3rd of June. 1st, 2nd, and 3rd of June. Just check on that and just make sure that you have started. If you have not started with your project, it can be a big problem. So let's get going with our projects and let's start. If you have any problems, just give me a call, give me a buzz, and we will be able to see if we can help you. But your project counts 40%. It's very important. So get going, get started. If I don't hear from you, my assumption is that you are fine and that you are able to proceed and that you are able to deal with your project and finish it. So on that note, I am going to move on with our last topic on this module, on mega projects or projects that fall under a portfolio and how that's managed, how to differentiate between a project, a program, a portfolio, and the management of these concepts. So this is our last tutorial on dealing with these matters. So I hope you are ready, but I think we'll make this our last tutorial so that you will have enough time to focus on the projects and to be able to finish it. All right, so otherwise, if you have any problems, you can just email me, you can get in touch with me, and then we'll be able to help you in that way. All right, are there any questions before we get started with portfolio management? Okay, so I take that as a no, sir, there are no questions. You can go ahead. We are fine. Okay. Okay, let's see if we can do this again. All right. Thank you very much. So as part of this last chapter, we want to look at the importance of portfolio and project management and program management we want to understand the organization and the organizational need for program and portfolio management. We want to differentiate between a project, a program, and a portfolio, and the management of each. We want to explain the advantages of following a program and portfolio management approach that is linked to strategic objectives. We want to expand on skills and capabilities required by program and portfolio managers. So, what is a standard? A standard is a rule, a principle that is used as a basis for judgment. It's recognized excellence or established authority, something that's established by authority, custom, or general consent as a model, example, and point of reference. Okay, so a standard for program management, usually we have authorities that set standards for project management, okay? And it's usually expected that each project will follow a certain set of rules in order for it to be acceptable in terms of competency, in terms of performance, in terms of just general management. Now, some of you are aware of standards in the food industry. For instance, in South Africa, we have something called the South African National Standards, and they go by numbers, and they have standards for, you know, frozen foods, standards for fresh foods, they have standards for food processing, they have standards for, so generally in the food industry they have a number of standards. And we also in project management have standards. In accounting you have standards. The GAAP is a standard that's used all over the world by all accountants. So the question is, do we have standards in project management that project managers can follow and project managers can demonstrate that their projects are following standards? Okay, so those are the standards that are available in project management: PMI, GAPPS, PMAGJ, and there's one for portfolio management, and that's PMI. All right. So a program is a group of related projects managed in a coordinated manner to obtain benefits and control not available from managing them individually. Okay. The program management, therefore, is a centralized, coordinated management of a program to achieve the program's benefits and objectives. So we understand then that a program is a list of related projects that work together to achieve a common end. All right. So the 2010 FIFA World Cup South Africa was a program, an example of a program that was set up by the South African government together with FIFA to stage a tournament. But as part of staging the tournament, we had multiple numbers of programs and projects all over the country that were managed according to a certain standards, and they came together and culminated into the 2010 FIFA World Cup. So that was that's a spectacular example of a program that is managed centrally by the South African Local Organizing Committee, which was called the LOC. Right. So we're going to have a good look at that example as well. Okay. So program management is, so we've defined what a program is. So from the definition of project management, there are three major concepts. So there's relationship or dependency, coordination, benefits, and control. All right. So those are coming from the definition of program management as three major concepts. Okay. So there's a collection of entities as another concept for project portfolio management. Sorry. So the three emerging concepts there are collection of entities, effective management, and meeting organizational objectives. So when you look at the definition of portfolio management, which speaks of coordinated management of portfolio components to achieve specific organizational objectives, three main things come out of there. There are collection of entities, projects, programs, and other work that come together, which is centrally organized and managed by a group of people and to meet organizational objectives. Okay, so those are the three main concepts, and it's important for you to remember those. So what is the difference then between projects, programs, and portfolio management? All right, so in terms of time, projects are short. All right, in terms of, for instance, you know, when South Africa had another mega project, which was called the Gautrain. Within the Gautrain, you had a number of projects and programs. So one program would have been to build, to lay down railway tracks. The other one would have been to build stations, right, along the way. The other one would have been to build and maintain retail outlets within each station. So each of these projects are short-term within a very big program and portfolio of long-term projects. Okay, so the Gautrain as a portfolio management is a long-term project and it's a permanent project. All right, so this continues after all the projects have been finished. So the scope under project is usually one project. Under a program, there are many related programs. So as you will see with the program of the FIFA World Cup, there were many projects that were ongoing. The stadium in Nelspruit, the stadium in Durban, the stadium in PE, the stadium in Cape Town, the stadium in Rustenburg, the stadium in Johannesburg. So all of those were different projects under the portfolio of the 2010 FIFA World Cup. The measures of outcome. So how do we know that this thing was done properly? A project, it was done on time, within budget, within scope, with sufficient quality. All right? Achievement of organizational benefits for a specific unit or division. That's under programs. So we want to achieve certain benefits for the organization or a division of an organization. Excuse me. Achievement of strategic objectives for the organization. That's the outcome of a portfolio. Organizational level, projects are usually operational, programs are tactical, and portfolios are strategic. Okay? The focus for projects is usually doing the project right. For programs, it's usually making sure that the different projects fit together. And if you're a portfolio manager, you are then making sure that all the projects are done correctly and for the right reasons. Okay, so why program management. All right, program management as defined is a centralized coordination of different projects, okay? It ensures that individual projects remain aligned with the strategic objectives. All right, the progress is made in accordance with what was planned. So the program managers are making sure that whatever was planned, the progress is tracked properly, benefits will be realized in accordance with the business case, and benefits the organization. Okay, work is performed in accordance with documented and approved organizational processes, policies, and guidelines. All right. So that is the benefits of program management. Okay. So what are the advantages? Advantages is improved stakeholder relations, improve utilization of human resources, scheduling of tasks, improve control over schedules, and better change management, and improve risk management. Okay. Sorry, I don't have these pictures. I couldn't see, but if you're following from a book, just have a look at 15.3. That's where we are at. Okay. So what kind of skills must a program manager have? Okay. He must always obviously have people skills. That's very, very, very important. Communication skills. This is important because the program manager is able to make sense of everything, all the different projects, why that one is done like that, and why that one is done like that, and why that one is done like that. So the program manager then needs to be able to communicate properly. Okay. Program management. The program manager must know and understand the processes, tasks involved with the program management. These processes and tasks will include benefit management and governance. Okay, so this then becomes a very important thing. Environmental awareness. The program manager must understand the environment in which he operates. All right. Sorry, before I get there. So I'm trying to go through this right now. Time management, organizational skills, strategic visioning, technical knowledge, political skills, leadership skills, people skills. All of those become very important for a program manager. All right. So those are the qualifications and competences of a program manager. All right. One of the important support structures for a program manager is a program management office, and this office provides necessary support to the program manager, and this is some of the support that it requires: the supportive, controlling, and directing. Okay, so it's a shared responsibility between managing the projects and enabling the projects. Okay, so it's a juggle between the two things. Okay, let's move on from that. Okay, so now let's look at portfolio management. Portfolio management, we said, is a coordinated management of portfolio components to achieve specific organizational objectives. And we said this is a strategic role where a portfolio manager holds together a number of projects that are happening. It's usually at a director level within an organization, where a director is responsible to drive certain strategic objectives of a business. Old Mutual recently went through this, where they had to do a number of changes within the organization, and and a portfolio manager was appointed, and he was responsible for driving this. And so this would have been a NOC chairperson, your who was this guy's name now, who did the 2010 FIFA World Cup? Jordan, Danny Jordan. So he will have been the one who would be driving this this process. So in figure 15.4, you have the executive structures, the portfolio managers with different processes that they manage, the project manager, and the operational. So unfortunately, I don't have that figure. So I was still making an example with the Gautrain project. So within the Gautrain project, there would have been, I told you, the rolling stock, the trains, so that would have been one project. The tracks, that would have been one project. The stations, that would have been one project. The ticket vendors, that would have been one project. The software that runs all the train and links all the stations, that would have been one project. The tunnels is one project. The bridges, one project. Offices, retail space, parking, and linking with other transportation hubs, that will have been one project. Okay, so that's an example of a portfolio that's one which has many different components and many different projects and needs to be managed properly. So here's a diagram that shows the skills that's required by the portfolio manager. So he must have leadership, obviously, because he's driving a whole lot of managers under him. Analytical skills. A major part of portfolio management is analyzing different options. While many tools exist to support this function, understanding the techniques involved is very crucial. So that's the analysis part. Okay, and then dealing with ambiguity. Obviously, because this position sits at an executive level, there are a whole lot of things which are not clearly defined, and one needs to be able to define them. So that's why the portfolio manager then comes in and is able to define those things. You know, what do you mean by that? What does that mean? So bringing that level of understanding within the organization and within the process, and making sure that things are driven at the right pace, at the right with the right objectives, and people understand the objectives. Strategy, most of the time, is something that is very ambiguous, and most people don't get it, and that's why somebody at this level will then be very, very critical for different project managers who are managing different things in bringing them together into a mega project. Planning skills, obviously, he must have that in order to be able to analyze and bring the plans together. Various scenarios need to be investigated, and plans should be developed that will provide direction to the whole organization for a significant period of time. And these projects usually take place not just in 1 year, but it usually is 10, even sometimes 15 years. One portfolio that has taken more than 15 years to finish, and it's still ongoing. Here in Cape Town will be the Century City project. It was started in 1997. It's still not finished. There's almost every year there's a new project that starts, a new project, new projects, and they're anticipating that it will be another 3 to 4 years. So it's very easy for that project to take 20 years to finish. So as a portfolio manager here, this could be your whole life. This could be your whole career managing a project like this. The power stations for South Africa, sorting out our power, that could be a whole career. The sorting out of some mega programs in South Africa also could be major things. And so getting these kinds of functions working properly becomes a critical thing for a nation like South Africa. So hopefully, maybe one day you'll be able to join some of these projects. Okay, so there is a portfolio office sometimes looks like this. So there's a portfolio office over here which have all these 3 programs reporting under it. And then under each program, then there's probably 1 or 2, 3 projects that are ongoing that require the involvement of each program office. All right, so that's usually how portfolio offices look like. Okay, are there any questions before we conclude today?
I have a question about the project that we're gonna do as an assignment.
Yeah.
I find it very hard to name a project because my project focuses on the partnership with the coffee shop, but I'm trying to write a project that's aimed at establishing a cultural recreation to a company. So.
Okay, I can't hear you properly. So can I please ask you to type it?
Okay. The aim. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, but it's not. I can't make up what you're saying. So if you can possibly type your question.
Okay. It's really long. That's why I'm just saying that. Okay, establishing a cultural recreation to a company. That's the aim of the project. Now, is it wise to name a project on its objective or to name a project as from a company name?
Okay. Hold on. This is very. Okay, just try it again. Okay.
And that's entering in the new market. New market. Okay. Project. Objective.
So are you asking, is it wise to name a project on its objectives or from a company name?
Yes.
Okay. So I don't think you should name it as a company name. Not unless, I mean, your project is to establish a company. All right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, the company name then, because the objective is the company, then the name can be the company. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
that is an objective. So in this case, the two are one. Does
Okay.
it make sense?
Yes.
So the two things, the project and its objectives, um, is to establish a company. So therefore, it can be a name. It can be the company name. Does it make sense?
Yes. Yes, it does.
Okay, great. Do you have any other questions?
And yes, again, yes. If
Okay, what if there's a partnership in the business?
yeah.
Okay, now I need to understand why you are concerned about the partnership. Is it because you feel that the other partners might interfere or might not have the same objectives? What is the concern with the partnership?
Mm,
Why do you feel that could be a problem?
market. Uh, Especially when dealing with registry. When dealing, okay, with registration.
Okay, so there are provisions within the Companies Act that provides for partnership.
Mhm.
Okay, so an incorporated company provides for a form of a company which is a partnership. Okay, so the liability in a partnership is with the partners. All right, so it's like you can run a company which has one owner, and so it's a sole proprietor. All right, and that sole proprietor works. Um, so all the liability in that business is with that one partner. But now, if there are two partners, it's then a a limited propriety. So that means there are two partners in that business, and they each take responsibility for the liability in that business. So you need to go through the Companies Act and see which of the options you will want to take. Do you want to take a partnership, or do you want to just start a PTY limited, which is a private company, and then you can decide where you are. So that decision needs to be made between the partners in terms of how you want to tackle the the business and the registration of the company. But it's not a decision that can be taken by one party. All the parties must make the decision. Remember this in terms of this module, this problem is a stakeholder management problem. How do you manage the different stakeholders? And in this case, it's the other partners. You know, how do you bring them in, and how do you make sure that they are satisfied? Otherwise, it becomes a problem for the project going forward. So that can be a risk. And then once you've identified that risk, then you have to say, how do you deal with it? What would be the ways for you to deal with that risk?
Okay.
All right.
Yes.
Is there anything else?
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Matthew. I wish you everything of the best, guys, for your project. Again, if you have any questions, you are stuck anywhere, just let me know. So we're not gonna have a tutorial next week because you'll be working on your project. Okay, and we're done with the curriculum now. All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much.